My name is Dr. Stan Dawson, and I'm the Director of ASHA, and I want to welcome you to another little introductory course for the Whole Health Coaching Program. You're going to get this and two other topics which may be divided into one or two sections each. Today we're going to talk about the relationship between the mind and the immune system. And this is a topic that will come up in one of the courses on the psychology of stress, which is part of the Whole Health Coaching Program. So this tape is to give you a flavor and a taste of the kind of material that you'll be getting in the course. Stress, as we've come to know over the last 35 years, actually maybe more like 50 years, is one of the major factors in most diseases. I would say 90 to 100%, most experts would say. Stress plays a role in almost every pathology. So one of the things that researchers were trying to understand, because the immune system is crucial to the survival of the body. If the body cannot defend itself against infections, toxins from bacteria and viruses, especially in this age of drug-resistant strains, then we're not going to survive. So the immune system has to function well. And to help understand the nature of the immune system, researchers have started to try to look into the relationship between the brain, the nervous system, and the immune system. The brain has been considered in biology as the controlling system of the body that oversees all the other systems and coordinates their functions. And in most cases, the nervous system has a direct nerve supply to the tissue cells of the organs involved in those systems. For example, the heart receives a direct nerve supply from the brain through the spinal cord. The lungs, muscles, the stomach, the liver, the gallbladder, small intestine, spleen, every organ in the body and every major system in the body has a direct link up with the brain. Now the spleen and the thymus are very deeply involved in the immune system, the liver to some degree as well, and the bone marrow. But the worker bees in the immune system, the white blood cells, are circulating in the bloodstream and have no obvious direct link up with the nervous system. So researchers were trying to understand, well, how is it that this works then? Because we need to understand more about the role of the white blood cell, like the worker bee of the immune system, and how the nervous system may influence it. So a woman named Candace Pert, and it's like the shampoo, P-E-R-T. Candace Pert was supervising and leading a group of researchers at the National Institute of Health, and they were investigating the relationship between the mind and the immune system, and they focused on the white blood cell at one point in their studies. And what Pert's team found was that white blood cells had neuroreceptor sites on the cell membrane of the white blood cell. Now, for a biologist, this was an amazing discovery, because the only place that neuroreceptor sites were ever known to exist prior to this research was on nerve cells after the synapse between two nerve cells, where the nerve impulse comes down to the end of the neuron, and it triggers the release of neurotransmitters into the synapse, the gap between the two nerves. Those chemicals interact with the neuroreceptor sites on the second neuron, and when they're activated, those neuroreceptor sites, the wave of depolarization, that is the nerve impulse, then continues down the second neuron. So there's a clear reason for and need for those neuroreceptor sites on nerves. And that was the only place that they were thought to exist. So to find them on white blood cells with no nerves anywhere around to release neurotransmitters into a gap to interact with the cell membrane of the white blood cell made no sense. It's like finding McDonald's franchise on the moon. There's nobody there to eat the hamburgers. There's, the hamburgers are the neurotransmitters, and then the neuroreceptor site is like the folks who would eat the hamburgers. There's nobody there. So, didn't make sense. But then they realized, all right, well, there they are. So, where are the neurotransmitters coming from? And what's going on with this whole deal? And as they continued to investigate this phenomenon, they found that there were neurotransmitters that were circulating in the blood, and they tracked them down to the cells in the body. And they also then went on to find neuroreceptor sites, not only on white blood cells, but on every major organ system in the body, on the heart, the lungs, the liver, the stomach, the muscles, the spleen, kidneys, pancreas, you name it. There's neuroreceptor sites in places they didn't realize were there before until they really started to look. And so then the question became, what's going on here? Because normally we thought that the nervous system controls the system of the body, in this case the immune system, but the mind is a side effect of the nervous system. So we had brain, our nervous system, central nervous system, controlling tissue, cells, and the mind is sort of a side effect of brain activity. It's the way that Western science used to look at this mind-brain-body connection. So when they found that these neuroreceptor sites were found on the white blood cells, and that the neurotransmitters were being produced in all the cells of the body, literally, then they realized that what was happening was that when your mood and mental state changes, that the cells of your body start to produce different chemicals. And the nervous system then coordinates the reactions. So what ended up happening in the study of the mind, nervous system, immune system connection, psychoneuroimmunology, was the discovery that the mind-body connection is much more like the Asian theory of how the mind-body connects. And the old Western model was overthrown.